NK Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school boys basketball, where the Coldwater Cavaliers will take on the Minster Wildcats. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Crane Lake Health Systems, Butcher's Family Floor Store, and NK Telco. We're looking live here at Minster Elementary School. My name is Brandon Coburn. Alongside me, Dave Kanapke, and senior night here for Minster, and Minster Wildcats taking on the Coldwater Cavaliers. We take a look at Coldwater, 16-5, 7-1 overall in the MAC. They got a chance to play for something here tonight, a potential share of the MAC title if they can, hope for some Marion magic on the road and get a win here tonight.
Yeah, they had a great game, a classic game against Alpha St. John, where they lost on the last second shot. And then on Saturday night, they turned around and lost to an average Walpock team by 33. Before that, they had won 6 in a row. Coldwater's had a pretty good season, 16-5. It's their most wins they've had since 2019 when they won 18-10. Two main stars in the team. Balin Blockberg's had a heck of a year. The junior, 14.6 a game. And then Luke Schwitterman, his first team All-MAC last year. He will be again this year, 12 points a game. Those two and Owen Kunk, they have a very solid and tall team, mostly juniors.
And taking a look on the flip side, the Minster Wildcats, their last game, a really good win against, they won against New Bremen, lost against St. Mary's in their last 2 games, a big win against their rivals up north, trying to cap off, hopefully for them, a 14-win regular season before heading into the tournament play.
Yeah, it's been a nice year for the Wildcats, especially when you consider how many injuries they've had. And they're finally healthy. They're able to get everybody back last week, so they're trying to build some chemistry going into there. And that big win over New Bremen was the 100th win for Coach McClurg here at Minster, so it was a big win. It's a nice shooting team. You're talking about a senior night. There was no basketball players in senior night. There's no seniors on this team, all juniors and sophomores, led by Brogan Steffi, who was made first team District 8 this last week. He's averaging 11 points a game. Also, Cole Richard, 13 points a game, and the big guy in the middle, Cole Albers, 10 points and 9 rebounds a game.
And we'll kick it down to the public address announcer, as looks like we're going to have a little treat for our national anthem. We'll come back with the starting lineups and keys to the game here next on NK Telco Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Welcome back here on NK Telco Sports. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight, as they're going to be introducing our officials here tonight. And the Coldwater Cavaliers, taking a look at them first again, 16-5 overall, 7-1 in the MAC. They can at least secure that second place tonight with a win at least. And again, they'll be rooting for the Marion Local Flyers in the Vatican tonight against Delphus St. John's. And here's the starting lineup for Coldwater. Number 0, a 6-foot junior, number 0, Balin Blockberger. A 6-foot junior, number 11, Brady Layfeld, averaging 5.7 points a contest. Center, a 6'6" junior, averaging 7 points a game, Owen Kunk. Number 33, a 5'11" junior, averaging 4.9 points a game, Miles Potcutter. And rounding out the lineup, averaging 12.1 points a game, 6'7", senior Luke Schwieterman. The head coach of the Coldwater Cavaliers is Nick Fisher. The starting lineups here for Minster on their senior night. And ironically, as Dave mentioned in the pregame, no seniors here tonight, as number 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Cole McClurg, averaging 7.8 points a contest. A a 6-foot junior, number 4, averaging 13.4 points a game. Cole Richard. Number 12, a 6-foot junior, Brogan Steffi, averaging 11.4 points a contest. Number 15, a 6'3 junior, averaging 8.1 points a game, James Niemeyer. And rounding out the lineup, number 42, a 6'8 sophomore, averaging 9.6 points a game, Cole Albers. The head coach of the Minster Wildcats is Mike McClurg. Now we got the starting lineups out the way. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keel Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Coldwater Cavaliers.
Cavaliers coach Nick Fisher, his keys, he said, was first season battle of the boards. Said Minster's very good rebounder. They're second in the MAC. Want to execute an offense. He thinks there's some mismatch. They can take advantage and have energy. This is the last MAC game. They got a chance to share the MAC with if Delphos should trip up. For Minster, the trouble all year has been their turnovers. They can limit turnovers. When they take the right shot and not just take a shot, that's another key. And Coach McClurg feels like they match up well against Coldwater, but the big key he feels like is to keep Blockberger in check. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
And Keyhole Pizza off State Route 66 in Newport, Ohio. It's not Chunky Bob's Pizza, it's not pizza. A longtime sponsor of the keys to the game here on NK Telco Sports. As official Todd Trainer in the middle, Schwieterman and Albers, a pair of 42s, will battle for the tip, and it's controlled by the home team. Wildcats work with the basketball. It's Richard up on top on the logo on the right side to Steffi. Steffi around the screen, goes up to Albers on the inside. They got that mismatch. They kick it out to Steffi, and a great start for Minster as Steffi buries a 3 from the right wing.
Minster, as the season has gone on, has done much better at getting the ball inside to Albers. That time he's able to kick it back out wide open free for Steffi.
Owen Kunk gives it up to the left side. Worked around here. And a shot fading away. It's no good there by Blockberger, and Steffi gets the rebound. Steffi up ahead quickly to the right side. McClurg to the lane. Swatted away by Schwieterman.
There'll be a lot of swatting away probably tonight between Albers, is number 1, and Schwieterman is number 2 in the MAC in blocks.
And it'll be a great battle to watch here all night. As you see Kunk right on Albers right away instead. As Albers gets it on the inside, going up against Kunk, and he walked.
He stopped, and then he tried to take an extra step there, a long step, but he switched his pivot foot. First turnover of the night.
Kept the floor here, Brady Layfeld. An all-junior lineup outside of Schwieterman. So kind of a youthful-ish roster for veteran coach Ken Fisher, or for Nick Fisher, sorry. As that ball's tipped away on the arc. Kunk alone on the inside. Shot fake, tries to go up, and gets it taken away. Cole McClurg with that steal. Steffi up ahead. Look pass to Niemeyer. His shot's no good. Kunk affected that shot well. Up ahead, Potcutter leaks behind the defense. Miles Potcutter to the rack. He's swatted by Brogan Steffi.
Ooh, a lot of contact there, but the referee said it was mostly ball there. Nice block there by Steffi.
This looks more like a Shelby County League crew typically here tonight.
Well, there's no Shelby County League game tonight.
Yeah, there is none.
Unless you count the tournament games for those teams.
As Steffi with it on the right side, goes to Albers. Back to Cole Richard. Richard's shot on the foul line is no good. And it's a 3-0 Minster on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Layfeld over to Schwieterman, right side Potcutter. Kunk on the inside, just a touch off of Schwieterman, and he stepped on the baseline.
Great. Brandon, you talked about their mostly junior lineup. They also have another player, Mason Welsh. He was averaging about 7 points a game halfway through the season. He's injured, so that's another talented junior they're going to have coming back next year.
Saw a very good JV team, too, and they lost a competitive contest to Minster. You might have caught before your 53-52.
That was a great ball game.
Steffi trying to go to Niemeyer on the inside. He slips to the defense, and a nice steal there by Balin Blackberger. As Blockberger to the rack, lowers his shoulder, and Balin Blockberger, the lead scorer, gets in the box score for Coldwater.
Blockberger's had a heck of a season. He's a quarterback on the football team. He's had a great basketball season. I believe he's a shortstop on the baseball team.
That he is indeed a very good player. As well will be for Coach Cordy Klinke here in a little bit. Inside, Niemeyer loses it. He's trapped in the corner. He'll kick it out to Albers. Back to Steffi as we've played just over 3 minutes. Steffi back out to McClure. Go out to Cole Richard. Albers on the inside, up and off the glass, and there's a basket for Cole Albers.
Nice job there by getting it on Albers. Albers has really improved his game as the year's gone on. Wildcats up 5-2.
Three-pointer left wing off the mark as Albers and Kunk battle for it. Went off Kunk last. We have our first substitution of the ball game, number 10, Mason Welsh, into the lineup. Number 20, Caleb Schreier, who's in the lineup.
That's the Mason Walsh I said was out the whole season. I didn't realize that. He has not played since the middle of the season, so looks like it's his first game back. Good to see him back on the floor.
Next to ball, Connor Schmeezing will come in the lineup for Minster. McClure loses it off his foot. Tough break for the Cats.
He just had it. It just tipped away off his leg. And Connor Schmeezing, very good defensive player. Brings a lot of energy to the floor on the defensive side. Coming into the game, number 23, Cody Depweg, another junior for the Cavaliers.
And Depweg, also another good football player, was MAC Defensive Player of the Year last year.
That's right. A lot of multi-sport athletes we have here.
I know that because defensive coordinator Mark Bruns promised him a steak dinner if he won MAC Defensive Player of the Year. And there's a three-ball nailed by Luke Schruderman.
Luke Schruderman, the lefty there, squares it up, and we're tied at 5.
3:49 to go here. Minster looking for a basket here. They go out to Albers. Albers saying, hey, I can stroke it too. The big guy misses it, and the rebound goes down to Blockberger.
You think it might be odd that he shot a 3, but he was 5 of 10 going into the season, into this game.
Blocked on the inside by Albers. Regained possession by the Cavs. Good crowd on tap here tonight, as there's a layup in the lane by Balin Blockberger.
Blockberger, I've seen him before on TV. He just has a smooth drive, the way he floats there. Nice basket.
Blockberger now up to 4. And that three-pointer there by James Niemeyer, and Minster's got the lead right back.
Niemeyer doesn't shoot a lot of threes, and that was a line drive and just drills it in.
Blockberger kicks out to Depweg to the left side, and Schreier. Depweg on the arc. Depweg going on the inside, gets it altered by Albers. Trio of substitutions, Ian Homan in, and Noah Schruderman, sorry, and back in Cole McClurg. So that's what typically the Wildcats do. They go about 8 deep.
About 8 deep when everybody's healthy. They've only had 2 players all year, that being Homan and Albers, that have played in every game.
And some of those injuries lingering from the football season that we did see is that three-pointer from the left wing off the mark. Rebound down, Schruderman top of the key, and the big man with 2 3-pointers here, and Coldwater leads 10-8.
That's a tough matchup when you have a 6'7" guy like Schruderman can pop out, hit a 3 2 times like that.
10-8 Coldwater on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 2:14 to go in the first quarter. McClurg with it, gives the shot fake. Going to give it up to Schruderman. Back to Ian Homan. Smeezing to Steffi. The corner, McClurg thought about another 3. He rejects the screen, goes on the inside, goes up, and he's fouled. Yeah, foul going to go against Welch.
Good drive there by McClurg as he drove and then did a little head and shoulders fake, got his defender in the air, and the sophomore, Cole McClurg, will shoot 2.
McClurg
hit the first one. McClurg has had 9 double-digit games. His season high was 15. That was first game of the season against Houston.
McClurg is 76% free throw shooter on the season as well. as he dips the knees, fires, and connects and raise that average up. In the last regular season game for both these teams. We'll talk about the tournament draw a little later as you see looks like maybe a zone defense here by Minster, a little 2-3.
Well, they don't play a lot of zone. Usually it's man-to-man, but a little bit of trying to do matchup against these three-point shots so far.
Steffi with a nice play, tipped it to Schmiesing. Schmiesing racing to the basket, high off the glass. There's been a goaltending anyway, I thought.
Yeah, Noah Schwierderman, who can jump. His hand hit at least the net, if not the rim.
It snapped the rim. I heard that.
So, boy, there was an opportunity, but fortunate that it went out of bounds off of Coldwater. Another chance, possession underneath the basket.
Coach Nick Fisher asking for an explanation there. And the veteran coach here at Coldwater. And there's a 5-second count.
Good defense on the out-of-bounds play by Coldwater. Coldwater has really made Minster work on every possession. They have not had hardly any quick shots, and that time they forced turnover against Minster.
Minster going to stay in that zone. Let's see how much longer they stay in it or if they go to it permanently. Looking on the inside, Detwig out to Kunk. Kunk back to Detwig on the inside, working up against Homan. Kunk back to the left side. It's up, back to a rolling Kunk on the inside to Detwig, but blocked by Cole Richard. And we got a foul on Minster on the floor. I think that might go against Homan or Schwieterman. And it's going with Homan.
Well, that was great ball movement between Coldwater. I was already counting the basket there, and Cole McClurg with a nice block. First foul there on Ian Homan. Another chance under the basket here for the Cavaliers.
Back in Balin Blockberger and also Miles Potcutter.
Yeah, it looks like both teams go about an 8 rotation deep. So pretty good depth for small school high school.
Good. Working around. Coldwater all out of sorts. Balin Blockberger on the inside. It works up to Owen Kunk. Off balance shot. Cleared by Ian Homan. 10-10 here with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Schwieterman with it to Richard. He's going to pull a three-pointer from the top of the wing. His shot's no good, but a long rebound down to McClurg. McClurg back to Schmiesing. McClurg trying to drive, steps through the defense, high off the glass and in.
Nice drive by McClurg. McClurg a lot of times will settle for an outside shot, but he's driven to the basket twice. He's got 4.
Quickly, Blockberger out front is going to give it. Going to get fouled by Ian Homan. He'll pick up his second. And Cole Albers quickly races to the scorer's table to come in for him. Side out here for Coldwater's Potcutter will inbound it. The head Layfeld. Layfeld being chased. All over to Schwieterman in the corner at the horn. Desperation heave off the mark. No good, but the home team, the Minster Wildcats, take a 12-10 lead over Coldwater after 8 minutes of play. We'll be back here for the second quarter of action on your home for Minster Wildcat basketball, MK Toco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
We've played one quarter of basketball here at Minster, and it's a 12-10 lead for the Wildcats. And another MAC development going on here as the Coldwater's got to obviously take care of business here tonight, but they'll be scoreboard watching what's going on in the Vatican.
And at Vatican, I think the score is 18-12 in favor of the home team, St. John's. It's senior night over there at the Vatican. I'm sure it's a raucous crowd there up north.
Schwieterman with the bucket. And You never hear this, and I said this during the JV game too, Dave, and see Coldwater rooting for Marion. I don't see that too often.
Not very often. Definitely not in football. Well, they're in different divisions when they get to playoff time. Nice shot there by Niemeyer.
James Niemeyer with his first bucket of the night. Actually, his second bucket of the night, my bad. He's up to 5. And Minster still staying in that zone where they're trapping, so it's a very active zone, it looks like. Or no, they're back to man, my bad. It looked like they were in zone as the shot is up and in by Balin Blockberger.
Boy, you have 2 off-balance left-handed shots. First by Schruderman, next by Blockberger to start this quarter.
Knotted at 14 now. 6:54 to go to the half. Richard with it. He drives on the inside. His shot off balance is good. A couple of nice, strong downhill attacks to the basket.
Yeah, nice move there by Richard. He can hit the 3. He can drive it. Wildcats retake the lead.
Blockberger drives in the lane, trying to get it back, gets his own rebound. Tried to kick it out to Pot Cutter, but it's taken away by Steffi, and he's hacked in the backcourt.
Nice job there by Steffi as he was in the passing lane as Blockberger tried do a little bit too much there. First quarter stats very even. Coldwater is 4 of 12 from the field. Minster 4 of 10. Minster had 2 foul shots. Coldwater did, and that was the difference of 2 points that we have right now.
Steffi on the right side to McClure. Goes on the inside to Albers. Hands it off to Niemeyer, who's swatted by Schwieterman.
Boy, that looked like a basket away, and Schwieterman, nice anticipation and a clean block.
And you said it too. There's going to be a lot of blocks here tonight, and there has been already through just over a quarter of play. Kunk up to Pot Cutter. Back on the right side. And it works on the inside, and it's an easy score for Balin Blockberger.
Coach McClure mentioned us. He was afraid about the matchup in Blockberger, and there's reason to be afraid. Blockberger already with 8. Boy, he does a nice job of setting up, finding an opening. He ties the game.
Albers to Steffi. Steffi trying to dance on the inside. Regains the basketball to James Niemeyer. Back out McClurg. McClurg with it, trying to go around the screen. Back to Albers. Back to Richard on the left side. He gets the screen from Albers, goes around it. And here comes the battle between Kunk and Albers. Albers on the inside wins that one with a beautiful move as he had his dribble picked up.
Nice job there, Albers. He likes to roll to his left. He has a nice left-handed move, but he rolled back to the right when it wasn't there. Nice move by Albers as we have a foul on the other end.
And Brady Layfeld will go to the line. He's a 56% free throw shooter. That foul on Brogan Steffi, his first, team's first.
Coldwater, couple pretty good shooting pretty good foul shooting teams. Coldwater 67% on this season. Minster 70%.
Second free throw is also up and in there by Brady Layfeld.
You know, Brandon, this is a good matchup you want last game of the season. You're playing a good quality team. This is perfect way you want to go into tournament, playing a tough game against a good opponent.
Especially because both these schools are in very tough districts.
Yes.
I mean, especially you look at Coldwater's. I mean, wow. People have talked about, the toughest district. Let's take a look. We don't generally look that far north. I mean, besides schools like Coldwater, but man, the district that they're in is loaded.
Coldwater, with the season they've had, they're only the 4th seed, but they're in with number 1 OG. We know about Colin White. Spencerville has had a great season as number 2. And number, I can't read my writing. Number 3, it's at the Lima Senior District. Coldwater was 4, and we'll have to double check that.
Shots off by Steffi. As Pot Cutter, 3 from the corner is good. Miles Pot Cutter buries a 3 from the left corner. And Coldwater with the lead at 21-19 here on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Wayne Trace is the 3rd seed.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
That's Richard on the inside. Albers with the board over to Schwieterman, trying to lean into contact. And Schwieterman to the line for 2.
Nice offensive rebound there by Albers. A good pass over to Schwieterman. Schwieterman missed some games in the middle of the season with some illness. Coming back strong. A very athletic sophomore, had a great football season at receiver, and misses the first free throw.
And Schwitterman on the season from the line. It's 53%. Nails the second one.
Definitely a back and forth game so far. I think the biggest lead has maybe been 3.
Minster now back in that zone. They've shown a handful of different defenses. Like you said, it's pretty abnormal of Minster to play none other than man-to-man. Shot. And Blackberger going up, but a late foul called on Albers.
Trying to stop Blockberger there. And good ball movement. You know, Minster doesn't have that one player who's like that defensive stopper who's like a very athletic, taller kid. Steffi usually draws a lot of the assignments, not real tall to be the real defensive stopper, so trying a different look. Blockberger's had a great year, misses the first.
Go ahead.
Blockberger's had 4 games over 20 points, and he had a big 37-point game in a double overtime win over Versailles. At 37 points, I think the record at Coldwater was something like 43. He scored like all the points in overtime when they beat Versailles, like both overtimes.
Shot no good on the inside as Blockberger splits from the line. Cole Richard to the lane, too much on that. Ball gets kicked out to Schwitterman. In the corner, Richard trying to redeem himself with a 3. It's no good, and Kunk with the rebound. That's it to Blockberger. Back to Kunk. Kunk going to take the high arcing 3 and drains it from the left wing.
That is the third different player that has hit a 3, and I'm sure Blockberger can add to that when he wants to.
And a nice defensive play by Kunk on the other end. And he's going to try to cap it off. Shot no good. Blockberger with a nice play to at least keep it alive. And he'll go to the line for 2.
Boy, Coldwater has really shown they are an athletic team, can really run the floor real well. And they're big guys. Kunk and Schwitterman can run with anybody. As Blockberger, he missed a pair before. He'll try the second one, a 75% foul shooter. Not starting off real hot here.
And James Niemeyer back in for Minster. 3:26 to go to half. Blockberger will get 1 to fall from the line there. And now a little 1-2-2.
Yeah, 1-2-2 as you have Owen Kunk. Very athletic 6'7" player at the top of that.
Well, taken away by Coldwater at midcourt. It's Blockberger who's having a heck of a ball game, and he's in double figures already with 11.
Boy, he's only 6 foot, but he is just long the way he shoots it, and the steal set that up.
Schmeezing with it. Center the lineup. These are 2 of the younger teams in the MAC that'll be back mostly next year. Nice move. Oh, drop step there by Cole Albers.
Yeah, much needed basket there to stop that Coldwater run. That lead was up to 7.
Ball kicked out to Blockberger. Drives, foul line extended. Goes to the right side. Layfeld with it back to Blockberger. As McClurg and Schwitterman will come in for Minster and Coldwater respectively the next dead ball. But again, it's Bale and Blockberger with 13 first half points.
Yeah, they're trying a lot of different players. He just drives, and that's what they were trying to do with the zone, but Blockberger has been impressive tonight.
Niemeyer on the inside to Albers. On the exchange back to Niemeyer. His shot's no good. And a chance for Coldwater to add to the lead here. Blockberger loses it quickly, though. Richard up ahead, weaving through the defense. Trying to go against Owen Kunk to the rack. He got it in. Counted and 1 for Cole Richard.
Wow, through the last couple of years, Cole Richard has got really creative. When he drives to the hoop, he's off balance, puts up a shot. But I haven't seen him put up a shot like that. As he underhand scoop shot. Nice play, and the junior will try for the 3-point play.
Richard at the line, trying to convert on that old-fashioned three-point play. Richard on the season, a 73% free throw shooter, as Albers tried to tip it back in. Little balance here for Minster tonight in their scoring in the first half. They lead 29, or they trail 29-24 as Schwieterman to the basket will shoot 2 free throws here for the Cavs.
And the Minster defense has not been able to stop the driving for several players. Coldwater, that time it was Schwieterman. Schwieterman, a 77% foul shooter, will shoot 2 here. It's the first one. He was All-MAC last year. I'm sure he'll be All-MAC this year. And I think the teams will come out next week. The girls team came out this year. Congratulations to Ava Unross, who was Player of the Year in the MAC this year. 2 Minster girls are first team All-MAC, and Addie Inskeep and Lydia Mesher.
I'm sure that was how even the MAC girls were this year. I'm sure that was an interesting conversation. I've never saw a quad championship before.
No, I don't think I have either. It never's happened in the MAC, girls or boys.
I've seen a tri-championship before.
Yeah.
A handful of times, but I've never seen a quad. As the ball goes off here, and Kunk was fouled, I believe, and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, you had 4 teams, and Coldwater, or Versailles, Versailles, Marion, St. Henry, and Minster were very good. But Parkway and New Bremen were not that far off there. I mean, those 6 teams, very even. New Bremen had an upset victory the other night in girls basketball. They beat the number 5 seed. They beat Spencerville. Play the 4 seed tomorrow night.
Yes, Kunk at the line. Gets a nice roll home, and Homan going to head out. Richard back in as well.
Kunk, 6'6" junior, 63% foul shooter, averages 7 points a game on the season. Played a bit last year as a sophomore.
Kunk at the line, 62% free throws shooter. He's 2 for 2 there, and he's got 5 points as Cody Depwig will come back in.
1:23 to go. If you're Minster, boy, you want to cut into that 9-point deficit. Because once again, they have to face that 1-2-2, and this time Schwieterman on the top of the zone.
McClurg back to Steffi. Crossover on the inside to Albers, and he loses the basketball.
Ooh, they'll say it's off of Coldwater. I don't think Coach Fisher agreed with that call. That's what the refs have seen. Minster's had some good openings in the underneath, but they haven't been able to take advantage of it. See if they can take advantage of this one.
Steffi off balance, and that's when Minster's best attack is those off balance shots here tonight.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Steffi.
And he's up to 6 points. Cuts into the Coldwater lead, brings it down to 7. Blockberger drives on the inside, wraparound pass to Depwig. Step back by Blockberger. Off the iron, no good. Schrader with the rebound. Schrader to Depwig. Depwig cross court. Schwieterman, he's going to fire the 3, and that looked good as soon as it left his hands.
Wow, he could square up. That's 3 threes for Schwieterman. He and Blockberger both with 13 points on the half.
10-point lead here. Minster probably just want to bring us down to 1 possession and get to the half, maybe. Steffi on the inside. Shot is good and 1.
That was about a repeat of his last shot. Maybe a little bit closer, but a tough angle. Big shot. Big basket here at the end of the half as Steffi with the chance at the 3-point play.
Noah Schwieterman going to come in as well for Minster.
Steffi coming into tonight, 82% foul shooter. That's second in the MAC, but he won 1 of 2 before. Now he's 1 of 3.
He clearly upset with himself right there after that missed free throw. Coldwater a chance to add to the lead before half. Minster brings the trap. They go cross court to Blockberger. Blockberger on the inside. His shot is good. And Balin Blockberger caps off a spectacular first half with 15 points. It's a 38-28. 28 points for Coldwater at quarter as they lead Minster going into half. 38-28. We'll be back after a break and a word from our sponsors here on your home for Minster Wildcat basketball on KTLCO Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Halftime here at the Minster Elementary School. It's a 38-28 lead for Coldwater over the Minster Wildcats. And let's take a look at our first half numbers brought to you by our sponsors at Grand Lake Health Systems. And with those numbers, Dave Kanapke.
Thanks, Brandon. First for Coldwater. Impressive first half for their two-star players. Balin Blockberger, 15 points. He had 7 two-pointers and a free throw. And then Luke Schwitterman, 3 threes. And a field goal and 2 free throws. Very impressive. They have 28 of their 38. Also Owen Kunk with 5. Miles Potcutter with the tray. Brady Layfelt with 2. Cavaliers shot 12 of 25 from the field. Inside the arc, 8 of 17. Out. Or 7. In in scoring by Brogan Steffi, 8 points. Cole McClurg, Cole Richard, and James Niemeyer with 4 points. Noah Schwirdeman with a free throw. Wildcats not bad shooting either. 11 of 24 overall, 9 of 18 inside the arc, 2 of 6 outside the arc, 4 of 9 the free throw line. Right now, difference, Brandon, is Minster needs to do something to stop all the driving and the three-point, the driving by Blockberger and the three-point shooting otherwise by Coldwater. They had an impressive first half.
And a nice roll off the screen with James Niemeyer as he gets the bucket.
Yeah, if you're Minster, you want to start off, need a good start here in the second half to cut into this lead.
And Balin Blockberger picking up where he left off in the first half. He's up to a game-high 17.
Well, he just drives, he's off balance, and just can't stop him.
On the inside, McClurg. His finger roll no good. Rebound out to Schwitterman. He's trying to run the floor. He's trying to go to the basket, and he's blocked there on the inside. Ball flutters around down to Steffi.
Well, we've had a lot of blocks on both sides. We've had about 4 on each side.
What an athletic, tough basket there by Brogan Steffi.
Yeah, nice move there. Steffi usually doesn't start to shoot early in the game. He only shoots when he needs to, and I think he's starting to take control of this game.
Kunk with it on the left side. Kunk out to Miles Potcutter. Original starting 5 in for each team to start the second half. 3 from the top of the key by Blockberger off the mark. Kunk with the rebound. It's out to the corner to Potcutter, who keeps it alive. Coldwater playing a little too fast there, and they turn it over.
That is only the 5th turnover by Coldwater. Minster's had the same so far. Pretty cleanly played game for both these teams.
An 8-point lead held by the Cavaliers here. We talk about, them able to drive. I didn't know if, Minster would switch back to a zone out the halftime break. Maybe that's something Coach McClurg's waiting to put in. Well, he's electing to stay in man-to-man. Albers, his shot's no good. Potcutter with the rebound. Layfeld with it. Around the screen. It's up to Blockberger in the corner. Potcutter 3-pointer, and that's his second Three-pointer buried from the left corner by Miles Potcutter.
Miles Potcutter did a nice job. He got the pass from Blockberger. A nice job of squaring himself. This offense for Coldwater has been impressive tonight.
43 points for them, and it's got 5:50 to go in the third.
They average for the season 54 points a game, so they're having a great night.
That's off Kunklass. It'll stay with the Cats. In their last regular season home game, they'll host a tournament home game here next Saturday night, either against Waynesfield Goshen or the Marion Local Flyers.
Yeah, Marion, that's, of course, a rivalry game. They were lucky to beat Marion at Marion. They trailed about the whole game before they had a big rally at the end. Steffi with another nice move. He's got 12.
And just right over his season average is Brogan. And that's a game we'll have here. We'll have their opening game here on NK Tolko.
Yeah, Marion Local has to play Waynesfield Goshen first. And there's another tough shot.
Yeah.
Some of the degree of difficulty on the shots for Coldwater's been impressive as Schwieterman hits a falling away left-handed shot. I think he's a natural left-hander, though.
15 points for him. Between him and Blackberger combined 32 points here on the night for Coach Fisher. And again, Coldwater, if they can win tonight and get a Delphus loss against Marion, will split that MAC title. Delphus was up 27-19 at the half the last we checked.
That's a big home court advantage up to the Vatican at Delphus St. John. They've had a heck of a season, only lost 2. They're in a different district. They're in the Van Wert district, where Minster's in the Walpole. Van Wert district, they're the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is Pandora Gilboa. Pandora Gilboa, coached by former Minster coach Mike Lee.
Well, that is right. Pandora Gilboa has had some recent success, too. I know they made the Final Four in 2018. They lost to Marion.
A great game. I think they lost by like 3.
Yeah.
They could have won either way, what I can recall.
I kept forgetting that Coach Lee was still coaching.
He's been there about, I want to say about 4 or 5 years. He took a couple years off. He was an assistant at Van Buren, and then he got the opportunity there and got the fever again to play it. And he's had a couple really nice years. He's got a very senior-oriented team. Twin brothers, Harrises, that are very good.
Steffi splits the free throws there. He cut to 10 as Coldwater called over and back there as he caught it. And his foot was over the half-court line, called by official Todd Trainer.
Minster did like a three-quarter press. I believe that's the first time they showed that tonight. They've done that press from time, not every game, but time to time it's worked for them. And they got to do something to try. Still not out of it. Still a long ways to go, but still trailing by 10. About a quarter and a half to go.
On the roll there, Albers, his shot's no good. Gets the offensive board. The stick back, no good. Rebound flutters around. Down to Coldwater. It's taken back. And there's no control. They wanted an over and back.
So 3 shots there by Minster in those 2 possessions and could not convert.
Layfeld from 3. And actually on that over and back, I think was actually the right call. As Blockberger, his shot's no good on the inside. Schwieterman loses it. And we got a timeout by Coach Nick Fisher. The first timeout we've actually had of this game. We're already halfway through the third quarter. We would like to thank our sponsors here tonight. Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwieterman, Beckman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Buzz Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, the St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Dave and I will name from Minster, is brought to you by NK Telco, and our mid and post game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our Minster Live View sponsor you can see on your screen is Porcher's Family Floor Store.
Both these coaches in their 8th year, similar success. Coach Nick Fisher, currently 96 and 97. Coach McClurg hit 100 last week. He's 100 and 100 wins, 86 losses. He's number 3 all time in Minster behind the aforementioned Mike Lee with 314 wins, and Paul Maltinsky back in the 50s. He had 153. Paul Maltinsky, a Hall of Famer in Minster. He was most famous for he started the Minster football program back in 1949. And no, I was not at the game. So,
I didn't know if you were saying that's another Wildcat first down. I figured that'd be you on the PA that night.
I was doing concessions that night.
Shot no good on the inside there by Welsh. He can't get his cleanup. It'll stay here with the Cavs.
It was interesting. I read an article about that, and what they said about that, most players did not know much about football because back then it wasn't on TV. There wasn't TV really. So football is like a totally new sport to most of these kids. That's a lot of in this area, that's when a lot of them started.
Blockberger, now he's missed 2 in a row, so we're going to say he's getting a little cold now, but so with this game high, 17 points. Richard with the basketball, drives, baseline, beautiful move, just can't get a favorable roll in for him.
That's a tough shot. Minster's they've had about 10 shots within like a 6-foot radius, and they just haven't been able to get the roll on some of them.
Blockberger trying to drive, and he walked. He dragged the pivot foot.
That was a nice job there by Ian Holman. Just reached in enough to make him stop. He tried to reset himself, so another turnover. They only had 4 in the first half, and they've had 4 here in the third quarter.
Richard with the basketball. Up to Holman, to Schwieterman. Try to get it on the inside to Richard, and it'll stay with the Cats.
Coldwater's cooled off, but unfortunately Minster has too. They haven't. We've been stuck at 45-35 for about 3 minutes.
Holman on the exchange to Richard. That ball tipped, taken away. Layfeld up ahead, battling with McClurk. Spins in the lane. Ball flutters around, and Kunk recovers it. Cross-court Schwieterman, he'll step into a 3, and that's good. Man, as soon as he caught it, you just felt it going in the way he stepped into that shot.
4 3-pointers for the 6'7" senior. He's got a smooth shot. Coach McClurk will call a timeout.
All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll step aside. 2:20 to go in the third. 48-35. Coldwater ahead of Minster here, and home for Minster Wildcat basketball in K-Toco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Out to Precision Strip timeout. It's a 48-35 lead here for Coldwater over Minster. A lot of media here tonight. And we have us, NK Toco, Scores Broadcast, WCSM Radio, and also ESPN in the front row.
Yeah, we got ESPN in the front row, right? Set up in the student section there. Some of them look astoundingly like some of the seniors here at Minster.
Yeah. No, one of them's Schultze played defensive tackle for the football team. I know I called his name a lot of times on some tackles.
Also, Charlie Schmeezing's in the front row. We got always some good, clean fun this student section's come up with.
A foul on the floor after the shot. Schrader's second foul, second team foul. Steffi blocked. They dragged that pivot foot. Again, senior night here, but no seniors on the basketball team. Talking about Coldwater, too. A lot of juniors on the team. So when we kind of revisit and we come back next year in the 2024-25 year, we'll have these two schools we're talking about. Obviously, we're going to talk about Delphus. St. John's. as Steffi hits the deck hard and is fouled. I was going to talk about Delphus St. John's, but you can see about 2 of the top 3 MAC teams here going to be the favorites on the floor here right now, possibly.
Yeah, you're right. Going into next year, Delphus St. John's. You're talking about next year?
Yeah.
You got Cameron Elwers, only a sophomore. His younger brother's only a freshman. So you got a lot of talent that's coming. So, yeah, these 3 will be probably the top 3 that everybody will be talking about next year.
Holman with the basketball goes to the left side to Steffi. Run Richard off a screen. Shot off the mark. Rebound down to Kunk. Coldwater scored 28 points that second quarter. And they just piled on a bunch of nice, solid downhill drives to the basket.
Yeah, that is impressive. They've cooled off a bit, but still in command here with a 13-point lead.
Layfeld to the basket. Shot no good. Kunk on the putback is fouled. And Owen Kunk will go to the line.
Nice drive by Kunk. They got a nice pair of tall players there with Kunk and Schwierman. That allows Schwierman to go out and shoot those 3-point shots on the outside as Owen Kunk hits the first free throw.
James Niemeyer, Coabers, and Connor Schmiesing in, and making their first appearance, number 44, Will Berry. 6'4" junior, as Kunk will go a perfect 2 for 2 from the line, as Cody Depwig will come in for him. (50-35) our score. As Minster trails here, and there's going to be an illegal screen. It's going to go against the Cats. That's going to be on James Niemeyer.
Minster seemed like early in this quarter, seemed like they were going good early, and they just got really been stuck on 35 for a while. Just haven't been able to get a big flow going here, and they're in the danger zone right now, down by 15 to a Coldwater team who's had a great night.
Blackberger back in the lineup. It's up over to Mason Welch. It's back to Blackberger. Right side to Layfeld. Coldwater gonna play a little pitch and catch on the arc here, as they control the arrow going into the fourth quarter right now, and with a 15-point lead. Blackberger being chased, left side. Gets tipped around. Albers in the open court battling with Blackberger. Hands it off to McClure. Again, a big bucket for Minster.
Nice job by McClure. Tipped it, got it to McClure.
Layfeld at the horn, off the mark. We've played 3 quarters here, in Coldwater leads Minster 50-37. We'll step aside and come back with your fourth quarter action in your home for Minster Wildcat basketball and KJLCO Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Back here on KJLCO Sports, we begin the fourth quarter of action here, and Coldwater, builds on the lead a little bit. A 13-point hill to climb for the Cats in the fourth quarter here, Dave.
Yeah, they've still trying to fight here as Blackberger nails a 3. That's the only thing he hasn't done until now. He now has 20.
And he's been money tonight as Coldwater starting to try to pull away here, as they'll be scoreboard watching a bit here as Cole McClurg with the bucket. Just to give you an update on that, Delphus Marion scored the last update we got. Delphus 42, Marion 32 at the end of 3 quarters at the Vatican.
They're still in control. Marion's still's got a shot. There's a nice steal by Richard.
Richard up ahead, spin cycle, and is The ball gets stuck.
I have not seen that much this year. I think one other time I saw it. It was like in a junior high game. So
I saw it on Monday, actually, or on Tuesday.
It's an alternate possession. It's like a jump ball back in the day. Stay with the Cats. Cats need some type of a run. They need like a 10-2 run or something to get back in this game.
And it starts right there with Cole Albers from the left wing. We got a timeout. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll step aside. 6:59 to go. 53-42. Coldwater ahead of Minster on your home for Minster Wildcat basketball and K-Toco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Out the Precision Strip timeout, 53-42. Coldwater ahead of Minster, and now you see a change of defense here.
Yeah, three-quarter press. Maybe if the Wildcats can get a couple turnovers here, try to get some quick baskets, and they get one there.
Get a steal. Steffi up to Niemeyer. Niemeyer through the defense. His shot's no good. Tries to go up again, and he's fouled by Blockberger.
So they got the turnover. Niemeyer misses the first one, contested, able to get his own rebound. James Niemeyer shooting two.
Two shots again here for Niemeyer. He's a 61% free throw shooter on the year.
And Niemeyer did not come back to play this year until January 12th, about halfway through the season. Last year he missed about the whole season. He did play at Varsity as a freshman, but he is really, for being off really a year and a half, he has really come back strong, averaging about 8 points a game. And when he was added to the lineup, it seemed like the Wildcats really took off at that point.
Split there from Niemeyer, as that'll put him in 8 points. A little pitch and catch here, up the floor. Schwieterman feeds Kunk on the inside. Kicks out Layfeld, thought about a three, he tries and attacks downhill. Off balance, his shot's no good. Kunk with the board. And there's a steal up ahead. Richard to the basket, shot is good, and one. Cole Richards had some spectacular finishes on the offensive end.
Starting to get a little bit of momentum now, is able to get the steal. He goes all the way. He's had two picturesque layups so far, and scoring with the clock stopped. Starting to get, Coldwater didn't quite knock him out. See if the Wildcats can make a run.
Richard cans the free throw. Takes advantage of the old-fashioned three-point play. Richard up to 7 now. Now Coldwater back on their heels a little bit. It's kind of the run you were talking about, Dave, that Minster needed. Getting this game, pot cutter from the corner. Puts a dent into that run.
Pot cutter, I believe, is 3 of 3 on his threes. Yep. He says the guy's job is setting his shot, and that's a big trade to put the lead back to 10.
Absolutely. Richard, shot fake. And it clinks off the iron as pot cutter clears the boards. 5:37 to go, 56-46 regular season finale for both of these teams. And the shot is good as Blockberger spins on the inside and scores.
Blockberger is just so good without the ball. He really runs hard, gets an opening, and he's great at finishing.
And speaking of finishing, can't finish on the inside is Cole Albers. And now that 7-point game, also in that 5-point swing the way of Coldwater, really trying to put this game away.
The Wildcats had it at 7. You felt like the momentum, and then that big three by Potcutter, and then Blockberger now with 22.
Shot is out, but Layfeld's going to go to the stripe for 2.
Layfeld does a nice job of running this offense, the point guard position. It's a really nice team. Talk about their tournament draw. Let's talk a little bit about Minster's tournament draw. They're in the Walpock district. They're at the number 3 seed. The number 1 seed is LCC. I don't think they've been in that district, or really in Division 4 for about 30 years.
Yeah.
And then Minster's on the same side as number 2 St. Henry. These two teams played here. Minster lost in overtime to St. Henry, but before that they'll have to probably take care of Marion, and we got an over and back there against Minster.
I talked to a person I knew from Russia that was saying that Lima Central Catholic's one of those teams to look out. We know how good of a team Russia has this year and how good of a senior junior class they have. And he was saying how they played Lima Central Catholic. They had some great battles in junior high, and he says a lot of those same kids are playing at Lima Central Catholic now.
Yeah, Coach
Sean Powell.
Sean Powell, who won a state title with Botkins. He was 2 years in Bath, and then he's moved on to LCC. They knocked off their big rival, Lima Senior, the other night in overtime. I saw the end of that game.
Yeah, it took over for longtime coach Frank Kill, who won a couple state titles at LCC with Xavier Simpson. The ball tipped out, and will stay with Coldwater.
He might have won a couple more state titles, but Xavier Simpson decided to play for his dad. He's transferred over to Lima Senior. He got to the state final game, I think, one of those years, Lima Senior. Xavier Simpson had quite a career. He's moved in high school and then moved on to Michigan, had a nice career.
And also another guy that played at Northern Kentucky. They had two guys that played at Northern Kentucky as Kunkel Road line. One, his name was Dantes Walton. I can't remember what the other guy's name was, but they both went to Northern Kentucky, who play in that Horizon League with Wright State.
Yeah, a lot of talent on those teams. Is Kunk back on the line to shoot two more.
Shot is off the mark.
This week, interesting watching this Coldwater team as they go into tournament. You know, we talked about that district. It's pretty tough. The other, talked about the Walpock district. They would feed into the Bowling Green regional. That's what the district we talked about. The Delphi St. John is in the Vanward. Plus Toledo Christian would be in that mix. That regional would be a bear right there.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great. I mean, Delphus, you would think, would be a heavy favorite, obviously, with Cam Elwer and Austin Munter. And talk about Toledo Christian. They played at Larman.
MLK. Minster played them. They had a lot of talent. They had was supposed to talk to that coach a little bit. They had a lot of 3- and 4-year starters. They had some talent. There were some players they couldn't stop. Minster lost by, I can look it up here. They lost by 23, and it was a very great team, that Toledo Christian team.
All timeouts brought to you here tonight by Precision Strip. And I'd like to remind you that NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 152, February 26th at 6 p.m. And on Channel 3 on high definition on 503, March 8th at 2 p.m. and March 9th at noon. You can also watch games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. And as we're coming out to Precision Strip timeout, you talked about teams being favored. Obviously, we're expanding to 7 divisions this year, so we're trying to soak up kind of the last, I don't want to say fond memories of Division 4, but the heavy favorite in Division 4 will be Richmond Heights. They bring back a lot of talent, even though TJ Crumble, one of their players, was ruled ineligible for the postseason. That moved in, but they do have a lot of talent. I'm blanking on the Dorian Jones, who already has an Ohio State offer. They also have a couple other really great players, as I'm blanking on their names right now, that are back for Richmond Heights but going for that three-peat.
And assuming Richmond Heights would get to state, they would play over against the Southwest District, which is probably most likely would be either Russia or Troy Christian. Russia lost to them last year in the state semis. That's unusual. You play the same regionals play each other, but let's see. I'm not giving Richmond Heights that state title just yet.
And Bocken's going to be in that, possibly, going to be a team that could be in that regional as well. Bockens has played very well this year. His shot by Schwitterman's good. Also, Jackson Center can make a run at that regional. The Southwest District went to that open draw, kind of like they've done in volleyball. It makes things a little more interesting because you're used to playing at Pickle, which is one of my favorite venues
Yes,
to call
I
a
agree.
basketball game and be in. Piqua is, if you've never been to a Piqua Garberry Gymnasium, that is one of my favorite places just to watch even a game. I even just to call a game.
Especially when you have like two great Shelby County League teams playing each other for the third time. There's some great memories there, that's for sure.
But one of the interesting things is, and Botkins and Jackson look to be the heavy favorites in their sectional. They would face at UD Arena. So you go that third time and going to play at UD Arena would make it more interesting.
So how was that? You could kind of pick what sectional you wanted to go in?
So you basically took what was at Troy and Piqua and you infused those districts together. There's 4 sectionals.
And then you could decide where you wanted to put your name on the line, so to speak.
Yep, so there's 26 teams, I believe, in that. They fused those together. And then there's the Ross district, which is a lot of those Cincinnati schools. The number 1 seed there was Cincinnati College Preparatory Academy, who played Jackson Center, actually. You're thinking Jackson Center playing a Cincinnati team during the regular season, but they ended up getting the 1 seed. They just barely lost to Jackson Center in December.
So the way they did that's almost a super section.
Wow. It's very big, and that was initiated by the Southwest District Board. Most districts do that. The Northwest District is not one of those districts that do it. And you know how dominant the MAC has been in a lot of sports, like volleyball, for example. You know, it'd be a great opportunity if they would go to that open draw.
It gives you an opportunity, kind of the better teams can kind of spread out from each other. That's a good point. I like to see the different districts, the different regions try different things, and if it's a good idea, the other ones will usually follow.
Nice little game, a keep away by Coldwater, and they get a bucket there by Brady Layfeld, and that'll be about the nail in the coffin there, 63-46, and Cole Albert says, just wait a minute.
He's had 2 of them tonight. I believe he's 7 of 13 on the season on threes.
And it's a 30-second timeout. I'd like to again thank our sponsors here on NK Telco Sports. And they are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schruderman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Butts Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, the St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keo Pizza. All timeouts are brought to you by Precision Strip, our player of the game, which will select from Minster's, brought to you by NK Telco. And our mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our Minster Live View sponsor, as you can see on your screen, is Borchers Floor Center. So, we talk about, districts, and we talked a little bit about Coldwater's district. They faced the winner of Cary and Liberty Benton in round 1, and then if they're fortunate enough to win at the Palace, they'd probably have a date with Ottawa Glandorf, who has obviously Ohio State signee Colin White.
Yeah, I think they've only lost 2 games. One of them to Troy Christian, so tough draw. And that Cary and Liberty Benton, that's number 6 and number 7, so that's no walk in the park there for Coldwater either, their first game, but they will be hosting that at the Palace.
And Martin RPI was very interesting. One of the interesting things was you talked about how Troy Christian beat OG. Troy Christian's the 2nd seed in that open section. They'll take on Bradford in the 2nd round, but if the way they cut it off, Troy Christian lost to Rushi by 25 back in December at the Piqua Holiday Tournament. Troy Christian, if they would have counted their win against Ottawa Glandorf after the cutoff, they would have hopped Rushi for the 1 seed, despite the Raiders having 1 less loss and beating them by 25.
Was that the Saturday that it didn't count those scores and cut it off after the Friday? Oh, that's interesting.
So it's kind of the interesting look as we're going to have some subs. Andrew Kettner, Ian Homan, Evan Pranger in for Minster. That's a couple free throws hit by Blackberger as he'll exit with 24 points.
Great game by Blackberger, 24. You also had Schruderman with 20. It's not often you get 2 players with 20 points. It's been an impressive showing by Coldwater with 65 points. One of their higher scoring games. I'll have to have their scores for the season.
That's Blackberger down for 25 on the board as it just went off there. But him with 25, Schruderman with 20. Homan on the inside. His shot's no good but a foul.
The 65 matches their season high that they've hit twice, so 1 more point and they break their season high.
And Homan at the line with 1:09 to go.
And if you're Minster, just didn't go the way you wanted to. You're not going to face Coldwater again. Wasn't probably a great matchup for them. You got to focus on. You got a week of practice. You don't have a game on Tuesday. You can practice all the way through just a normal week of practice. Then you'll get ready to probably play Marion local. It was a tough game the first time, so there's things I know they want to change. Marion played zone the whole time, caused Minster a lot of trouble, so I'm sure they'll work a lot on their zone offense this week. But it'll be a great one, though. Great rivalry game always in anything in Minster Marion.
Going by Homan. Or that first round is, sometimes you see a good game, more times you see blowouts than not, but like for first games or whatever. But you see the first game here, it's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be a great crowd on a Friday night. It'll start at 7, so it's a little later. A few more people can get here, and I like how they went to the home sites for the old sectional first couple rounds. I think you get a better crowd that way, and you get the feel of the hometown fans, and should be really neat.
You don't have to travel. You don't have to travel to anywhere like Wapak or anything. You can just stay right in your backyard or close to it for most MAC schools.
Yeah.
As try to get an update here on Marion and Delphus here towards the end as the steal there. Homan is going to be fouled and will return to the line for some free throws. And the finals has Coldwater's not going to win the MAC. Delphus has clinched that by a final score of 57-47.
Well, congratulations, Delphus St. John. They deserved it. They've had a great season. Won really a great game last week back and forth over Coldwater. Coldwater, nothing to hang their heads about. They'll finish runner-up. A very good season with talk about a lot of people be coming back, but they're not worried about next year just yet. They're wanting to win some games here. Keep on this very good season that is right now. They are going to be at 17-5 to close out the regular season.
And a very admirable season as Minster with a lot of injuries, like they said. They'll end up 13-9. Kettner, quick trigger 3. Kettner might be one of those players that will make a big impact next year as well. He's played very nice on the JV level.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with no seniors, and there's like Kettner. It'll be interesting with no seniors. There's no spots that'll open up, so to speak, and that competition is going to be pretty tough to get playing time. JV team that went just right at 500 on the season, so a lot of talent ahead, but Minster wants to have some games to play yet, but right now the night belongs to the Coldwater Cavaliers.
And they'll win by a final of 65-54. You watched it here live on NK Telco Sports. Let's take a look at our sponsors, because without them we would not be able to bring you tonight's action here on NK Telco Sports. As they are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwitterman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, Unoxo Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, the First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Kilo Pizza, All-Time Outs brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Dave and I will name in a bit for Minster, is brought to you by NK Telco. Our mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our Minster Live View sponsor, you can see right on your screens, Borchers Family Floor Store. NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 152, February 26th at 6 p.m., and on Channel 3 in high definition on 503. March 8th at 2 p.m. and March 9th at 12 p.m. You can also watch games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports. More games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. Let's take a look at our box score here tonight. Of course, Dave's wrapping up the numbers for Coldwater. They had 25 from Balin Blackberger, 20 from Luke Schwederman, 9 from Miles Potcutter. They had 7 from Owen Kunk, 4 from Brady Layfeld. For Minster tonight, Cole McClurg had 9, 2 for Ian Homan and Andrew Kettner, 7 for Cole Richard. Brogan Steffi here tonight ends up with 13, 1 for Noah Schwederman. James Niemeyer ends up with 8, and Cole Albers ends up with 12. Scoring after quarters, Minster led 12-10 after 1. 38-28, Coldwater led at the half. Coldwater led 50-37 after 3, and Coldwater takes home their 17th victory of this season here tonight, 65-54. And let's take a look at our numbers brought to you by Green Lake Health Systems. And with those numbers, Mr. Dave Kanapke.
Thanks, Brandon. First for the Coldwater Cavaliers, they go to 17-5 on the season, 8-1 in the MAC. Overall, for the field goals, they shot 20 of 44, 12 of 30 on their two-pointers. Excellent, 8 of 14 on their threes, 13 of 19 from the free throw line. For Minster, they were 20 of 46 from the field, 16 of 35 on their twos, 4 of 11 on their threes. I think they're 12 of 17 on their free throws. 10 turnovers from Minster, 12 turnovers for Coldwater. Coldwater wins the battle of the boards 25-19 as Minster ends up their season at 13-9. You know, it was a good game early on, back and forth, and about that time we said, boy, it's a back and forth game, really close. Coldwater got on a run between Blockberger just driving to the hoop. He had 11 in that quarter. They scored 28 between him and Schwierdeman. They put on a clinic offensively, and they got it down to 7 late, but they rode that to an impressive win for Coach Nick Fisher in the Coldwater Cavaliers.
One more order of business before we leave here tonight. I'd like to name our player of the game, brought to you by NK Telco, and that person's going to be... What'd you pick?
We're going to go with Brogan Steffi. He had a lot of drives early in the game, had some tough shots, kept the Wildcats in the game for a while. Our player of the game, Brogan Steffi.
Congratulations to Brogan, and congratulations to Coldwater, who wins tonight and advances to 17-5 as Minster drops to 13-9. Coldwater will be back in action in sectional final action against the winner of Cary or Liberty Benton at the Palace on March 1st at 7 p.m. So good luck to Coldwater on their tournament run as Minster drops to 13-9, finishes 5-4 in the MAC. They'll face the winner of Waynesville Goshen and Marion Local next Saturday night, or next Friday night, actually. I should take that back, as both those games on March 1st.
Yep.
Here. Where is March 1st on?
March 1st is on Friday. Yeah, both of them will play on Friday. Coldwater play the winner of Liberty Benton and Cary at the Palace in Coldwater. Minster will play the winner of Marion and Waynesville Goshen on Friday, March 1st.
All right, and you can catch that game here live on NK Telco Sports. You can buy the pay-per-view if you enjoy listening to our broadcast here if you can't make it to Minster for their sectional final game. So that'll do it for us here tonight. I'd like to thank our crew for Austin Ambergy and for Dave Kanapke. I'm Brandon Cover for the final time here from Minster. The Coldwater Cavaliers defeat the Minster Wildcats 65-54. You've been watching a production of boys or high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.